action began with Chris opening under the gun to 800. Denise decided to call, and now the action's folding around to the big blind, who's also calling. Chris opened with Queen Jack of Hearts.
Where are you getting this information? Oh, okay.
And action quickly folded around. Denise actually peeled with pocket sixes there, and we are going to a flop. 3 ways to the flop. Ace, King, 9. I think that here we definitely want to see. I think Chris can begin betting this flop. I think that's probably his easiest path towards winning. And I'd like to see something in like the 800 range. It's kind of nice. I like that size.
I actually like really small.
You
here.
like to?
I like really small here. I like on this board because I think that we have a lot of the ace king, aces, kings in our range that they don't, and I think that we have a lot of ability to, like, if we keep like 9x in their range and stuff like that, we can barrel really effectively with a hand like this. But I think that when we bet 800, we narrow just a little bit too much to the point where we have less good barrels on the
So
turn.
you would like 600.
Yeah, I would 500 or 600 is what I would have
think
said.
that's perfectly reasonable as well. I think Chris is going to fire a triple here once he chooses a size. I'd like to see, well,
Overbet.
turn over bet on the diamond. Well, I think this is okay. I mean, as long as he's planning on firing again when the diamond bricks off, he's targeting like 9x with diamonds, king x with diamonds, some ace x's that have to call fold. Like, effectively, this is the target. I think Brian cannot move in. I would like to not see a raise from Brian.
Yeah.
He just has a pretty clear call.
It's a really good bluff catching hand.
For sure.
Just it blocks the sets of aces and nines, blocks ace king, unblocks all the queen jack and jack 10.
Chris cannot fire on a diamond. He has to remember his target here. Okay,
Deuce
so
of hearts.
well,
18K.
yeah, I mean, he definitely has
Something
to fire.
like that.
He has to fire.
Oh, he gives
check,
up.
check.
Wow.
Well, those good
It
timings
was a
on the check.
well-timed give up, but
Maybe he thought villain would just like completely overfold turn to the sizing.
it's very plausible.
But I think villain just has like 9x of diamonds, king x of diamonds, some ace x's like that are just kind of holding on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't. Like, I suppose the reason why I slightly prefer the smaller sizing on the flop is like it gives us more opportunity to barrel for smaller sizings on turn. Like, we don't have to like completely pull out on turn, and that in turn fits our incentive slightly better because we get to, if we go 500 on flop, we can bet turn for like 2100 or 2200, and now we get to triple for a price of like 9K total. Whereas in that spot, like, we kind of, once we bet 800, then we bet 4K. Now tripling is going to cost us like 25,000.
Right, for sure. Action.
Yep,
As
good.
we see Chris now with the ace queen offsuit. I don't mind 3-bet. I don't mind call.
Yeah, I think that this is like a pretty good 3-bet spot for me. It's 7-handed. Looks like he just called.
Calling's obviously fine. I guess he didn't want to 3-bet fold this hand.
Yeah, I don't even, if you 3-bet this hand, I don't even know if you have to fold it, given that we're now kind of edging into phase 2. Like, I think
I definitely want to see a 3-bet here from Schumann. I like this 3-bet, man, with ace 5. Oh, I don't think we can fold.
did he 3-bet?
No, he folded.
Yeah, that was
Off 50.
I mean, that's very tight with ace 5 of diamonds.
I think you just crush by making it like 10,000.
Yeah, it's a pretty good spot to 3-bet squeeze. Denise overcalls with queen jack of spades, which I really like in the big blind. It's a good call.
Okay, I'd like to see now Chris start with a small bet. King 6 deuce is just so strong for your range.
Yeah.
Like 2K is nice.
2K is good. Brian rather starting with a small
Brian,
bet.
excuse
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, 2K I think is really good here. Because now Chris's ace queen is in such an annoying spot against 2K. Like, he really wants to continue.
Yeah, I
but
think it should call still.
I think continuing is pretty good, but like
28.
it's not comfortable.
28 kind of sucks to call now.
Yeah, now I think he can just fold.
Now it would be like a little bit more particular. Have the ones with the backdoor flush draw in there, something like that.
Is he gonna raise? I was just thinking I don't actually hate raising here in Chris's spot.
You don't rep anything. You need to just have it.
I think you can raise king queen for value here.
Agreed, but I think you just get like piles of value when you have it.
Yeah, that might be one of those spots.
9 is Better generally for Chris's range. He's gonna have a concentration of 9/9 in his cold call range.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a better card for Chris's range, but it's still a good card for Brian's
For sure,
range as
for
a whole.
sure.
Gives Brian a lot of two barrels. Like all of his Jack 10 and Queen Jack and stuff that contains a spade that can barrel the flop.
In terms of
some
some live tell stuff here, Chris like spread his stack open, and like you're kind of like purposely trying to look strong, and you're weak,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you guys told me that one.
Mm-hmm.
When they make it look like the stack is bigger than it actually is.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's purposely like, hey, look how much I have,
Right.
and then he's just folding
Because he didn't want to face a bet. Like
Yeah.
he wanted to look as strong as possible so that his opponent would check.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying all of his Cash Pro live tell shit.
Yeah, but it's like so novice. Like, that's like that never works, man. It's like when the older guy just like grabs his chips like,
Yeah.
come on, man. All right.
And to be going for thin value and things like that. But I
want
think
to see Denise just 3-bet.
yeah, but I think it still has to come down to what ranges actually look like in certain spots. And I think what we're seeing is like we're definitely seeing some good adaptations in terms of people being willing to take on volatility, but it sort of seems like they're using taking on volatility as a way to like justify not wanting to play future streets. And the problem is striking a balance between those two things, because sometimes taking future streets and playing more streets is actually the best way to go. So we just got to get people striking the right balance, I think.
Interesting flop here. Everyone with a little something. Big blind flops top pair, backdoor straight draw. Rob flops jacks for second pair. Denise with a gut shot to the effective nut. And he bets here. What are your thoughts on this bet? Chooses a big size, right?
Yeah, that's large. That's too large to bet with jacks here. If your betting range is going to include jacks, it needs to basically in a multi-way spot, you need to be betting. Wow. Wow, this is caging.
Whoa.
I like this actually. I think this is
wow.
This is pretty sick. This is caging Rob.
I like the size.
And it's caging Brian too, because now Brian has top pair, no kicker. Man, Brian's in a brutal spot.
Brian has to fold.
I think he's gonna fold. I think he has to
Brian
fold.
has to fold. He could just be up against king queen of clubs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just dead.
And now Rob has to fold, and I love that raise by Denise. You just completely cage them. But I don't like Rob's sizing for the specific reason that if you're going to bet with a range that includes a hand like jacks, you need to be betting to get called by worse hands. And when you bet bigger, when you have jacks on queen 4-3, it's way harder to get called by worse hands, because like all the pocket pairs between 5s and 10s now start folding when you bet bigger. A queen is never folding. So really all you're actually doing is just slightly getting more value out of a flush draw specifically. But if you bet smaller, if you bet like 3.5, 4K, now suddenly you get called by all those worse pairs, and you actually minimize the amount of times you get a bunch of chips in against a queen. So it becomes a lot more viable to bet jacks if you bet small.
Correct.
So what it comes down to is you can bet jacks, or you can bet large and not bet jacks. But you can't do both.
All right, here we're going to see a board of queen jack actually chooses to
Denise checks out of position. I like this. I actually like this a lot. It's a pretty reasonable check raise spot, I think.
It's actually a pretty reasonable bet also from Brian.
Yep. Backdoors, overs.
It's pretty large, though. I think the majority of his range wants to bet smaller here. Like,
Yeah.
he has a fair amount of protection bets, like 8s and 9s that like don't necessarily want
Yeah,
to
I think
choose this
smaller
size.
is probably a little better.
Wow, this is a dream turn for Denise. Just check. This is yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Check is good.
Yes, this he can't help himself. Look at him.
Yep.
Look at him. Look at him.
He's under the age of 30. He's definitely betting
he
here.
can't help himself. He can't help it. Oh, it's a range card for me. Oh.
He's going to bet 14,000, and he's going to shove the river.
Yes. Denise, don't shove the turn. He's super. Oh my God, this is so bubbles. There's no way that he has any. 15K, he said.
Wow. She shoved.
No. Okay, lesson.
Oh, she made it 40K.
Lesson. When he bets 15K on the turn, he's saying he has a flush. Look, he doesn't say he has a straight. He doesn't say he has a set. He's saying he has a flush. And look at your two cards. What flush he got? There's no way he has a flush flush. Get out of here. Just call
Yeah.
and then like laugh.
And also, if he does have a flush, he
Oh,
probably has
cooler.
the king high or ace high flush. So like,
Correct.
there's some small frequency there that you just lose, and
Yeah.
we're not saying you should try to prevent that. We just have to recognize that if we think he's representing like a flush, and we have the queen and the jack, then maybe he can have specifically 10-9 or 10-8, but like he probably doesn't have a flush in that spot.
The proportion
which means he
of
probably
him
has
air,
a bluff.
Yeah, airballing is so high. We have-
10 off from Chris. That's a pretty loose rejam. He's gonna get through, but
What you didn't notice is Brian, when Chris shoved, Brian reached and counted Chris's chips before the dealer counted it.
oh wow, that's pretty strong.
Aggressive play. But then after that happened, Chris then grabbed his own chips and then splashed them again.
Wow.
Like real aggressive.
Every academy that Chris plays at, he has to build an aggro dynamic with
Yeah.
somebody. Like
Yeah.
last time he played, it was Fausto. He and Fausto just could not
Mm-hmm.
stop going completely ridiculously ham at each other the whole time. And I get the feeling that he and Brian are going to be going ham at each other for the next 2 days.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I like it too, but it's like,
I mean, this
Chris-
is a
Chris needs to
clear
just
fold,
chill.
right? Yeah. Clear fold from Brian.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Chris's jam?
I mean, it's the absolute bottom of what could be feasible there.
Yeah.
It might be break even. It's probably slightly losing. It's unlikely to be much more than like maybe slightly above break even if Brian is raised folding too much. So it's speculative. It's a little loose, but it does kind of fit his incentives to a degree. So I can't criticize it too much. It's just like it's verging on potentially not profitable in chip EV. So it's hard to really like it that much.
Table 2 of action here. Action's going to begin with Joanne under the gun with Queen Jack suited, roughly 23 big blinds. I kind of like a raise here.
Yeah, I think raising is okay there.
Brian now with roughly 12 big blinds. I think this is a pretty easy shove.
This is a shove under the gun, 1, 7 or 8 handed.
Suited ace, one of the better suited aces.
I think we're all in. Yep. Nice shove.
It would have been interesting if Joanne would have opened what decision Brian would have had.
Yeah,
I think he would have had to fold.
I think he would have had to fold, yeah. Don't think he has a lot of fold equity against it under the gun open there. Did Denise even look at a hand? I thought I saw a folder.
Oh, this is a call. This is a call.
Tim should call there. Yeah.
This is a call. Your opponent
Sixes.
has like ace deuce suited. Your
Yeah.
opponent has ace three suited. Your opponent has fours. Your opponent has fives.
The key question there is, does he have the lower pairs? Does he have hands you dominate? And in that spot, he definitely has fives, fours, maybe threes and deuces as well.
And like ace deuce suited.
And yeah, exactly. Hands you dominate. So if he has a bunch of hands you dominate, you should probably call.
Yeah, agreed there. Let's move over to the other table, table 1, as we're going to see king 9 offsuit in the cutoff. He's all in.
Brian's going to shove. I like that shove. Brian seems to have his shove range is pretty well calibrated.
Small blind here. Probably want to fold. 8-6 off.
this is a
Not
fold.
as strong. What's the bottom of range there for a small blind?
Dave short to call.
Yeah.
Ace 8 suited, ace 9 off, ace 10 off maybe.
Yeah, seems fair. And it looks like the big blind has a decision there.
I think we're going up to the next level in the next hand, and the bubble will be approaching us.
I think he's folding. Yeah. Giving away your counter.
All you can do when you're short is just be all in or defend the big blind.
Oh, hello, Matt Berkey.
Oh, wow.
So, crate and barrel. This is what crate and barrel actually is. It is putting the chips back into the rack.
What's the credit card number?
Oh, credit card number is
Wow.
5856.
Just shower Bucky's credit card.
I wrote it down.
Back.
Like this 3-bet size
Wow,
from
okay.
Joanne.
I like this. Brian in the small, I think, just needs to give it up.
Yeah, but these guys,
These guys go hard.
no, these guys they're built. They use, man, they remind me of me, man. Like, you just like think people are up to no good.
Every academy, we get somebody who reminds you of you, and you wanna like encourage that, but you also want to tell them like
Good
don't
fold.
go overboard. Good fold.
Man.
Good fold, Brian.
She just has kings. Wow, that's a quick fold from Tim. That's a good fold.
You know what's weird is I never see people that remind me of me, and I don't know if that's a reflection on me.
Wow, how good
or-
are you?
No, it's like what I mean is like I guess I don't have a picture in my head of like what my style is.
Ah.
Like so that I don't see somebody and I'm like, oh, that's
Because
like
we don't
my
bring
style.
out we don't bring out bots.
Denise
Denise
like
calls with queen 4 suited in the small blind.
wow.
Would have liked to see their 3-bet or fold there. Flop comes 9-8-8, and this is a weird spot for the button. I would probably check.
Yeah. You could check. You could just bet like 20K.
Yeah, I expect to see a lot of like Jack 10s and Queen Jacks from Denise.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
Now I feel like we just check back and try to win with an ace. Or we could bet like 15K on this turn.
I like betting small for like denial.
Yeah.
But like we just never have anything good. But we could have some 9s.
Yeah.
If you bet this too often though, you're pretty exploitable.
Right.
Like you, but that might not matter, you know.
Yeah, but like it's one of those spots where like, what are they going to do to exploit you? Are they just going to like
Check min raise.
yeah, like take pocket fours and check min raise? Like
Yeah, 30K is too big for a
it's too
block
big.
bet.
Too
You're
big.
you're effectively like
oh,
he
you
bet
bet
15K.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's
I like the
very good.
15.
That's very
I
good.
like the 15.
Yeah, I like his game, man. I like the fact that he's you can see that he has a lot of good things going on in his game.
I think Brian has a lot of potential for sure. Like I feel like every academy we get a couple of players come along that we look at who are on the younger side, who we look at them and we think this guy is like going down the vein where he's clearly working on his game, he's clearly putting in the time, and since Brian we've already seen is an online grinder, I think he has an opportunity ahead of him to put in a lot of reps and get a lot of experience in tournaments to really push his game to a much higher level. I think a lot of the other players who are on the recreational side who don't get to play as much aren't in a position to be spending as much time on the game. And so, of course, it's still entirely feasible where they could make big strides forward. But having the time and opportunity to really grind when you're in the early portion of your career is so valuable. And I say that from experience. If I hadn't had the opportunity to put in millions of online hands, I just wouldn't be at the point of really knowing short stack play as well as I do.
Table 1. Brian raising to 20K, 6s.
Yep, I like that on table 1.
This is good. Oh, it looks like
Dave
another
Short,
3
another
bet.
3-bet. Caging.
Let's go.
I love that. I like this sizing a lot more in position.
Yes.
It's a really good 3-bet.
Yes.
Brian is now in some trouble. He doesn't have a lot that he can do here with black
What
sixes.
are you going to do? What are you going to do, Brian? Yeah. What's up? What's up? It's my man Short. How you living? Are you going to shove?
Man, if he just rips it on him here, that'd
He
be pretty
could.
strong.
He could.
He could. It's not the worst spot for it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. He just 3-bet back-to-back hands.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The back-to-back 3-bet is like an old school online play. It's like a 2012 online play.
What are you going to do? You're going to pile in the 35 bigs?
The online dynamic back in the day used to be like you had to figure out who was always like to use wow,
Short.
nice.
Go for
Nice
it,
fold.
baby. My man. Yo, Short. Just late reg all tournaments, man. And just start just double up and then start 3-betting.
All right, volatile table with Dave Short and Denise both going hard with these big shoves and big raises.
Action's going to fold around to Joanne. And I want to see Joanne be aggressive with these opens. This is going to make it easy.
Especially with the ace-queen offsuit.
I want to see
25K.
25K. I think we have a lot of good spots to snap off some shoves here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Brian could 3-bet here.
Yeah, and if he does, I would like to see
He could
Joanne
also
just
just
shove.
peel. I think just peeling is actually respectable here with this hand. On the button. Against a wide open range.
Yeah, definitely could. Could 3-bet, could. I think he's going to 3-bet. I would like to see Joanne just slam it.
Yeah, I think he will 3-bet. And I think that probably given the profiles of the players behind him, 3-bet is probably better. Because I think what happens here when he just flats is Denise and Dave are both going to come along with a lot of weaker hands, which is going to decrease his equity in the pot here. And I think isolating Joanne is probably the best way to go here.
Yeah, slam it on him.
65K. I like the size.
This is
Denise
an LP.
Denise.
Whoa! Wow.
Yeah,
this is gonna bail him out.
This is a huge overreaction to losing that flip. He really feels like he has to win all of his chips back now, and he's getting it in with 0 fold equity with a hand that.
I actually might just reshove here.
Joanne? Yeah, absolutely.
I would just reshove.
Yeah, because
this button open, I was gonna shove on it anyway. And
Yeah.
I think Short is just kind of
Yeah. Brian, if she reshoves now, oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she did.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, a million chips for Joanne.
If she reshoves now and Brian has 10s, he folds. If he has jacks, he probably
He has
calls,
to-
but he hates it.
But he wouldn't love it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh no.
Come on, my boy Dave.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, this was not a good shove from Dave Short. Wow, 8-ball, corner pocket.
Jack. Yes.
Oh,
baby.
Wow.
No, he's shaking his head like he deserved that.
Wow. Yeah, that was a not a great shove from Dave Short. He had
Brian or Jackson offsuit probably should either limp or fold with Joanne being to his left.
I like a limp here a lot. This is a really good hand to limp with in this spot. He has a hand that's raised to be the best hand a lot, and can't really withstand a raise because of the high likelihood that Joanne is going to play back. He does limp, which is great.
I like Joanne making it 5x here.
I think she can do that. She can also.
Whoa! You cannot fold an ace.
Absolutely
as the chip leader.
Cannot fold an ace there.
How did she know?
Brian is all in. Jeff is all in with 5s, which is very good. Joanne needs. Yeah.
Mike ace deuce offsuit would not open this hand whatsoever with Joanne's presence on the table.
Nope. No, Mike.
You have a deuce.
I like that he's minning. I like that he's min raising, but it's ace deuce off, man.
This is a tough spot for sevens. I think.
I think it's a shove.
What are the stack distributions on this table? Is anybody
Jeff
significantly short?
Jeff is shorter. But he has like.
Well, he just won a pot.
Yeah, he just won a pot. He has like 330. So I think Brian. I think that they're close enough in stacks that sevens can shove here.
Move the chips in, young man.
I wouldn't shove like 5s though. 6s is really borderline.
Which watch you like on their
watch?
hands? Yeah, like they have both the watches there.
I think I prefer Mike's one.
Wow, showers, Brian.
I don't have my black one on, but I have a black watch like that at home. Except
So-
it's got like a got gold hands.
I think
instead of-
Jeff has a clear fold here.
Yep, this is a fold. This is a fold. Brian is going to be called by Mike with some frequency, which means Jeff absolutely can't call without a very strong hand here. Good fold.
And this hand is over.
Janosch folds ace 9.
Folding. Joanne is the chip leader on this table still.
It's Joanne's big blind, right? So,
Well, this is going to be
Ooh.
a clear shove in my opinion.
yeah. Brian has to just ship this one.
Yeah, I don't think he has much of a play here. Could limp raise.
He's got to get those big chips off the bottom of his stack.
Could potentially limp raise as well, given that he is one of the shorter stacks. Joanne is going to attack this often. However,
Yeah,
You
I think all in is better.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Oh,
Whoa, see you later, bro. Not much he can do there.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you're just dealt game over.
Yeah.
And let's cut over to the other table, as this is just going to be a flip, and if anything changes, we'll come back. But this hand begins here at the other table. Wow, he flopped a 4. Wow. Okay. So now that Brian was not eliminated, stacks have shifted a little bit.
Yeah.
Brian is now probably either the chip lead or close to the chip lead, and he immediately picks up ace jack offsuit. Now Joanne with king jack offsuit in the small blind. I think she needs to decide how many people are shorter than her and what to do. Looks like she's probably gonna call.
No, she's 3-betting.
Is this a 3-bet to fold?
I would assume so.
Yeah, it has to be.
It's
This is a weird spot for Brian.
It's a difficult one. The fact that she's put Brian in a tough spot when he has ace jack indicates that she's probably getting quite a few folds from this 3-bet.
Well, she expects Brian to be opening exceptionally wide.
Yeah.
Brian also doesn't want to shove. Like he wants to preserve this chip lead.
Right. The last thing he wants to do is lose all those chips right back to her.
Correct.
So I actually think this is a pretty reasonable 3-bet.
Yeah, I kind of digging it.
Although targeting the chip leader is not like we sort of had a couple
But
of
she's
moments
leveraging
earlier
her
on.
own stack, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's not so much targeting as she is just taking a hand that is rating to be the best hand have a lot of blocking power, and
I
be getting a
really
lot of
like
folds.
this line actually, like because the thing is, like, calling is not good. Wow, he just piles.
wow. Good fold.
I don't know. I'm not certain about the pile, to be honest with you. What are your thoughts?
I think it's close.
Now all the players know that this player is all in this hand.
Yeah.
Right? So if
You have
you're
to-
not the chip leader, you have to be very careful
Right.
entering this
You have
pot.
to open extremely tight. Well, Brian has queens and Mike has jacks.
Oh boy.
Oh my word.
I think I want to raise here, simply because I think there's a high frequency in which Janos attacks this.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like we're going to be going up to the next level after this hand.
I like this raise.
What do you make it? Do you make it just regular 60K?
Yeah, that's good.
I like that. Joanne folds. Derek folds.
Yeah, I mean, the only person that has the light to play is right now.
Ooh.
Right.
You know, she might 3-bet.
And I think Brian needs to understand the meta, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be light so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think it's a spot where like I am gonna 4-bet and deuce. Like,
You could.
This hand's just.
I think you
gonna
could.
dominate.
The stack size is the only annoying thing for me because like if Yanosh makes it 150, we can make it 325 to induce. But if Yanosh makes it like 185
Yeah,
here,
then we're gonna have to be all
we
in.
just there's no size we can make it. Like we can't really make it 400. So I think we just jam and hope Yanosh has tens plus, tens of jacks
What
basically.
size does he choose here?
Looks like he went quite big. I think 170.
170.
Okay. I mean maybe. Oh wow.
I think we have to fold here. Like, we know we're getting called. There's also a player
Yeah.
that's all in.
Yeah,
There's
you
the
don't
ladder
have fold
potential.
equity, and there's an all-in player already. I honestly think in Jason's spot here, it's possible he should fold ace king with a one big blind player already all in. In fact, I'm very confident he should fold ace king.
Agreed. So now back on Brian. What are you thinking?
I think we just shove because the issue that I have, I guess, is that I think that the hands that we want to induce to call us, or the hands that we want to induce to shove, are probably going to call if we just rejam anyway. Like the tens and jacks are just going to call if we rejam anyway. Ace king's going to call if we rejam anyway. You think?
tens is gonna call off a million?
Well, if that's the case, like it seems hard for it to be a circumstance where tens and jacks are going to not call off a million, but we can like induce a bunch of like 5-bet jams though, right? Because
I think the fold equity of the tens.
Well, you just think that Janosch is going to expect Brian to be 4-betting light a lot here.
Yeah, because this is like a meta spot.
Yeah, I guess I think if they were both 1.2 million deep, I would probably believe that. I don't know if Brian can rep that many 4-bet bluffs from the stack that he has. That's all.
fair. That's definitely fair.
So I think the meta would be more significant if there was a little bit more room for Brian to like make it 350. Like if Brian, I guess maybe he can make it 350. I don't know, but like that just doesn't look bluffy enough.
I mean, I just feel like there's such a sick calling is not an option.
Yeah.
Whoa,
That's really
call?
awkward. That's really awkward.
That didn't cross my mind.
Yeah. You still have queens, man. At least, I mean, this is a very protected pot, so like there should be almost no post-flop action here with an all-in player already.
Oh boy,
Wow.
he might lose this pot.
Brian? Yeah. He might, like, Janosch might just go hard here. Mike might triple up. This
There's
is
no
funny.
ace king. There's no ace king in Brian's range. At least I don't think so. Like
Right.
he's heavily incentivized
There's
to be all
there's
in.
no ace king, but there's enough ace X that I think Janosch might just decide to take it passively.
Yeah, but
this-
ace X to what? Just
Yeah.
fold.
Yeah.
Like what are you gonna do?
Right, right.
Like,
This is a wild spot because I actually think it's entirely possible that Mike could catch a triple up here.
I'm not checking here.
No.
Like you have to bet.
Bet like 125.
I can't see a reason to
Oh,
check.
he checked. He checked. Oh.
My God, what a dream. I mean, I guess his checkbacks are protected, but like ace king's gonna bet, king's gonna bet, like aces are gonna bet. Like I don't see having the
Yeah.
queen of clubs. We're not gonna get check raised. Like
Right.
I think you just have a green light here to just like go off. To be honest,
Yeah,
with you
you
Like,
probably do because your 10 is going to beat Mike most of the time.
You have queen jack where like he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, maybe he does. I think he does have queen jack though.
You think Brian has queen
I
jack?
think Brian has queen jack suited.
Maybe. I think now, obviously, clear bet.
Into the
Is that a
side.
check? Oh, okay.
Brian checked, yeah.
I was saying,
into the side pot, I think maybe we have to go really small here, like 100.
Yeah, 100 is nice. Looks like
175.
175. Yeah.
Pretty big into a
To the
dry side.
I think we have to fold this.
Yeah,
hand.
I think Brian will probably end up making a really good fold here. Mike's gonna feel pretty sick when he sees this showdown. He ran
I want to
back.
stay. I want to stay on this camera when this show's down.
Yeah.
I just want to see this face.
About River Jack, just like Brian calls River Jack.
You have to fold. Queen 10 offsuit. Wrecked. Died in 6-5 suited.
Yeah,
Spades. And
yeah,
things
that's
like
true.
That, you know?
It's gonna be close one way or the
I mean,
other.
it's gonna be. Well, she's all in. He gets called. Brian has 7s.
Good call, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's a shorter stack. Let's see what
sure.
shoved.
What Janosch has? King Queen. Okay.
Yeah, it's very standard.
Very reasonable.
That's
Wow.
squads. Oh boy. All right, let's go to table 2. Table 1. Then we're gonna see a limp from 10-3 offsuit.
Needs to be a shove from Brian here.
Yeah.
16 or 15 and a half big blinds. King 9 off versus a limp. Time to be all in.
So I think Janosch can like raise some of these hands.
He
Like,
can. Yeah. I think he can.
I think he could raise like rather small too, in my opinion. Like I don't
Yeah,
think he
you
needs
can
to raise
probably,
big.
when you're really shallow, you can get away with a small size. Brian flops top pair.
So I think here we shouldn't expect much King X in Brian's range, but like
Yeah.
our hand's so bad that I might just delay this to the turn.
Right. I would prefer a just a shove pre from Brian, but once he does check, I think if Janosch bets, Brian needs to just raise.
Agreed. I think you
Yeah.
want to raise pretty small here.
Yeah.
What do you
Like,
think
ma-
about like 150, 160?
Yeah, I was gonna say 160.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because you get called by an 8, you have like all the 9-7 off, like 4-7 off type stuff that you can raise as a bluff here. You aren't really likely to be up against a better king very often. You aren't up against 8s or 5s. I think this is just a raise for value. And if you run these spots through a solver, like the solver's going to want you to raise some 8x there for denial and like some 5x with a backdoor and things like that. So you're going to have a very mixed raising range there if you're trying to stay somewhat balanced, just because denial is really important on the flop. And a king of any kind is going to want to raise with a high frequency just for pure value.
Yeah, pretty clear check here from Janosch. This is a pretty good card for Brian's range. This Janosch can introduce a check, like effectively it going check, and then potentially Janosch reopening the betting on the river, targeting a 5 would be reasonable.
Yep, but it's not going to go check because Brian is going to bet probably.
Yeah.
Brian has to bet like maybe 200K, something like that, and attempt to create a situation where he can shove the river for just under pot, I think.
Let's see what kind of sizing.
He goes with 225, I think. 125. I think that's a little small. If Janosch did have like 8-7 or 5-7, 5-6, which are exactly the kind of hands that he's targeting there.
Shout for
I just realized table 1 is the 3 young guns. Brian, Derek, and Janosch going at it.
So what, man? Look at the other table. They're going.
No, I know.
hard, too.
I'm
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying it's a coincidence. I'm not saying it's like because they're better.
Oh, okay.
You're the one who interpreted it that way.
Nah, I'm defending my guy over there. The young.
Brian reminds me of somebody, and I can't place who it is.
Chris Lee.
Chris Lee? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I got it. You'll see.
It's not so much the way he looks; it's just his mannerisms.
I thought it was the way he looks.
Well, I mean, like a little bit, but like you know how when people. No, it's definitely not him.
What you mean? What you mean? That's Chris Lee, man.
I don't know. Who
Chris Lee's
Lee-
good.
Oh, sure, but I don't. Like, there's nothing. I don't know who Chris Lee is, so like Brian can't remind me of him if I don't know who.
Chris
this
Lee
guy
has a
is.
bracelet.
Okay.
Chris Lee's
for him.
gangster, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who it is. It's like something about the mannerisms.
Mm.
It's probably not a poker player. It's probably some random person. Like,
What are your thoughts on Derek before we?
it's a shove. You could limp, but I think shoving is slightly better. Go back to the King 4, like I don't think it's likely that shoving is losing money in that spot because he's limp folding so much. But I think just checking is so much better.
Derek chooses the limp option. Queen 8 off. I think you have
This is
to. I think you have to complete this.
Complete, man. Wow.
King 4 suited might be an all-in.
You know
for
what?
here
I
for
think
sure.
with Brian having less than 10, I think that Jack 10 becomes a limp. I actually like Derek's limp here.
I like a little all-in here by King 4 suited though.
You do?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this hand.
Yeah, I think it's very possible Derek doesn't have enough limp calls.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty good.
Like, whatever, man. If you got me, like, you got it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm a suited king. Like, you're
Yeah.
limping. Like,
I think what we can do in that situation is reasonably easily discern that in that three-handed dynamic, the majority of the hands that Derek is limping the button with, he's limping because he doesn't want to call off against Brian's shove.
for sure.
And I think a lot of the stuff he would want to call off, he would just raise.
You know, all in on the other table. I think Brian, he calls King Jack off.
I think he actually should call that as the shortest stack. Oh wait, he's not is he the shortest anymore?
He was tied for shortest stack.
I don't know. It's close.
That's a lot of ICM pressure there to call off with King Jack offsuit, right?
I think it's very close.
Maybe a King Jack suited. That's the borderline, maybe. Ace
Yeah.
Jack
One thing that's on my mind as well is the rapid levels that we have, because they're probably only a few minutes from the level jump up to 50k, 100k, which is somewhat significant. So I don't think I mind Brian's call that much. But if he folded, I wouldn't hate it either.
Brian, East Coast online reg. Heading over to table one, we're gonna see Brian open it up. Jack Deuce of clubs. I like this.
So Brian doubled in that Queen Jack, King Jack.
Queen
hand.
Jack's an all in here.
Yeah, that's an all in. He does still have some fold equity with 9 big blinds, and he's so far behind both of them that it becomes, well, actually, Yanosh must be pretty short now.
Right.
I'm not sure about it then.
Well, I think Yanosh is going to. I don't like this fold, man.
I think Derek is short enough compared to Yanosh. Yanosh has 1.4. Derek has 900. I think that.
No, Derek's the shortest stack.
Right, that's what I mean. So I thought that Yanosh was closer, like 1.1.
Oh, okay.
But I think when Derek has 900k, I think he can just get it in there.
Call from Yanosh. 500.
This is close to 6-5 off. I don't think it's bad to fold here. It's just going to go check and then like 175 fold.
Yep. What do you think of Brian's watch?
His watch?
Yeah.
It's a nice watch.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's funny. I bought a pretty nice watch. Not like an expensive one, just like a reasonable quality watch. And then I found that like I wore it for a bit. And I was like, I don't really like wearing a watch that much. It's not very comfortable.
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
So I just kind of stopped wearing it. And I feel a little tilted that I spent money on a watch without really knowing whether I wanted to wear it or not.
I want to see you wear Brian's earrings on you.
That's not happening.
We'll see. All right.
But we'll see. What, are you going to pierce my ears without my permission, without my consent?
Maybe, I don't know.
Just going to hold me down and pierce my ears, huh?
We'll see. Maybe
That's
we
how
do
it
have
works in America.
some prop
I
bets.
thought this was America. Say all in for a
Table
bunch of-
one now. Yanosh, I think he's going to have to shove this
Yeah,
hand.
King 9 hearts is a shove.
Oh, this is a snap.
Snappies.
Yeah, for sure. This isn't close. This is not close, man.
Yeah.
He has like ace 3.
He has every ace in the deck.
Yeah. He also has king 10.
Come on, Brian.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
There we go. He didn't snappies, but he called.
Yeah, but like I feel like he deserves to lose after like taking long. You know, you took too
Wow.
long. I think he's just gonna flop you
Why
dead.
why are you rooting against him? Why are you rooting against your fellow East Coast reg?
Oh, now you're rooting for the earrings. 7, 4, 3, 2 clubs. Need to find the king or 9. King or 9. King or 9. 9, baby. Told you. Punished.
Yanosh is running way too good. You know what?
Derek here on the button. I think this is a great
Yeah,
spot.
that's a shove.
It's such a good
ace six
spot.
of clubs. The question is, if you're going to shove without looking in this spot, do you do the?
Did he min raise? What did he do? Did he shove?
I think he said
Oh,
all
he shoved.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Snap.
Oh, snappies.
Snap.
Wow.
I think he's gonna lose again, dude.
You really think he's gonna lose?
I think he's gonna lose again, bro.
Oh,
Poker
wow.
sucks,
Wow.
dude. This is an ace is coming, man.
You might be
Watch.
right. I got a feeling you
Watch.
might be right. Ooh.
Nah,
Club.
you think it's over? Nah.
Nah, it's not over.
Nah.
4 clubs.
Ooh, yes. Oh man. Right. Right. I told you.
There's
Oh
no
my
justice
God.
in this game,
There's
man.
literally
There's
no justice.
in this game.
Absolutely no justice.
See you. Pack your bags. Hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, that Brian's gonna go punch Corey in the face.
Welcome
now.
to tournaments. Go play cash.